So I'm not saying that Nesta and Cassian aren't mates. Like obviously they're mates. They have the golden string and they have like the crazy mate banging. Like they're mates. It whatever. I'm not casting any aspersions on their mating bond. I am casting doubt on the health of their relationship. Because Cassian's feelings for Nesta have never really been about Nesta. They've always been about himself and what he sees in her, and it's never really centering her. And the only reason why Nesta and Cassian work now is because Nesta had to change to be the person that Cassian basically and the inner circle expected her to be. Like on a first read, I really liked A Court of Silver Flames, and I still like A Court of Silver Flames, definitely better than A Court of Mist and Fury. But in rereading this book and really sitting on the Nessian ship, it kind of feels like reading A Court of Silver Flames is kind of like watching Nesta pledge a sorority. I pledged a sorority in college and it was a really good experience. But there is something about the pledging process for anyone who's ever pledged a sorority where like it breaks you down to the point where you get built back up again. And I feel like that's what happened to Nesta as she became more palatable to the inner circle. Like at the beginning of Akasif, she was a person coping not well with her trauma, but she was coping with it at least better than other members of the inner circle, where Cassian like murdered a village and Morgan has been drinking about as much or more than Nesta for the last 500 years. Only her fey liver saves her. And the more Akasif goes on, the more Nesta has to truly commit herself to the pledging process, even to the point where she has line sisters. She has Emery and she has Gwyneth and she has all of the priestess girlies who are coming in behind her. It's kind of like pledge classes coming in after you, because Nesta and Gwen and Emery, they cut the ribbon first and then the others came in after her. Like legit, they made a little sorority with the pledging like psychology that entails. And while that works for like a sorority, and I had a good time in my sorority, I would not take back that time at all. Like I'm not casting aspersions on that at all. But I think there's a difference between going through the pledging process to pledge a sorority and earn your letters, and going through the pledging process to get into a relationship with a man. Like I'm cool having done the pledging process for and around other women. I would never do that shit for a man. And I feel like Nesta did, and she was kind of forced to. So yeah, honestly, Cassian did have to drop the L word at some point, if only just to undercut the brutality of her pledging process.